Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to draw this little bunny. So first of all, I'm going to get your supplies out. We got the tan paper, your 2B drawing pencil, your magic kneaded eraser, your terracotta colored pencil or pastel, and a white pastel. You can also use the white color pencil if you'd like. Then we have the extra small, and medium Pitt pens by Faber-Castell. This is the bunny. So here's the photo reference if you want to pause that and screenshot that so you have that one ready for yourself. We're going to go ahead and start with an oval shape. We're going to make this kind of a medium size. It's going to take up most of your page. I always suggest drawing lightly so that you can erase it. So I'm showing you we're doing mostly ovals. Just getting the general shape in there. Throwing the hairs in there a little bit. Doesn't have to be exact. Just kind of eyeball it the best you can. You can change it up. This is just to get the general shape and form. So I'm doing the legs. A little bit of a rectangle with a triangle at the bottom. That back foot, I kind of curve the top. Let's see. Made it very light so I could go back in and erase it very easily. We are going to erase this layer anyway, so it doesn't have to be precise. And once you get the ink in there, you'll just want to erase it anyway to get rid of any lines. Put a little bunny tail in there. I'm going to go ahead and kind of draw out the outline very lightly. So it is a little bit darker here, but I'm still not pressing very hard on the paper. You want to be very gentle with this paper because it does have a lot of what's called tooth to it, and that will pull the fibers of that paper up if you push too hard, and it'll ruin your paper and sometimes can cause holes, and we don't want that. For the eyeball, I'm doing an oval shape because the bunny's eye is off to the side a little bit. Do not worry if it doesn't look like mine exactly, because my handwriting is different than yours. The way I perceive the world is different than yours. So just go ahead, have fun. This is the third time I've drawn this rabbit, so I had quite a bit of practice on this one already. My first video didn't take, so this one is working better. As I'm getting to the hairs here, I'm just kind of going back and forth, the W shape, M shapes. One line kind of goes over the other. I do try to mark off where I'm going to put those darker lines on there. If you notice, this one is looking a little bit different than the little bunny that I drew. I'm kind of going more from the reference photo for this other part for the hairs on it because I wanted to just change it up just a little bit. Every time I draw something, even if it's the same thing, I draw it differently because I see something different. It's kind of like a little lesson of life. You always seem to find something new. No matter how many times you do it, there's always something new to see in a different way. All right, so I'm getting the last little bits of the foot in there, just kind of mapping everything out. I'm going to start with my 0.7, the medium size pen. So you want to put a thicker line on the outside. The outside lines want to be heavier weight, as we say in the art world, so that can contain the drawing a little bit more. It gives it more feeling and more depth as well. I'm trying to keep the lines as smooth as possible. The outside lines, you can try to make as smooth as possible. Try to make it one line. When I get to the hairs, I do try to stagger it a little bit more so it just has more of a little, more of a fur feel to it. And just as before with the pencil, I'm just kind of going back and forth, crossing over the hairs at the back of the head there. If you ever had a rabbit or seen a rabbit up close, they have that really soft, fluffy fur in the back of the head and on the sides of their bellies. Now as I'm getting to the tail here, I'm staggering the fur. Hound knows how to turn the paper a little bit so I can get it at a different angle. That way my lines are not all going the same direction. They can be staggered a little bit like that and give it a little bit of interest. Now I'm going to my small pen 0.5. I have a little bit lighter lines on the inside, not so heavy. This is for more the details. This is called hatching, when you have the lines going in one direction. This adds a small amount of shade or shadows to it. This is also what I'm going to use for the fur on the inside part. If you notice, I hesitated on drawing the eye just yet because I realized, nope, it needs to go up just a tiny bit. This was a young rabbit, so his eyes were just a little bit bigger than an adult rabbit, so I made his eyes a little bit rounder, a little bit bigger, sort of oval with a triangle on the side there, put a little bit of a triangle highlight in there as well. I'm going to go back in with my medium pen, the 0.7, so because it's mostly black on that eye there. There's a little bit of brown and some white highlight, but you can put the white highlight in afterward if you need to. Eyes follow the big, medium, small principle. So you have the big outline of the eye, you have the medium size of the pupil, you have the small part, the little highlight in there. So when you have those three parts in there together, your eyes are going to look more realistic. I'm going through in there with my small, and I'm adding some of the details for the iris. Add a little bit of shadows as well. Once I get all these little details in with that 0.5, that small pen, I'm going to go through with the extra small, the 0.1, which is a really, really fine pen, and give it a lot of that fur detail that you see in the other picture there. Now at this point, you're going to take your extra small pen, your 0.1. This is to get more of the little details all over the rabbit. Like I said, he has really fine fur in the back of his head there. This part did take the longest, adding all the little details throughout this entire back. I am going to do some hatching. Put that shadow in right behind that ear so that creates an illusion of depth. Now hatching is just in one direction like that. And this rabbit had a vein in its ear sitting out. So I tried to capture that part a little bit. It was a little difficult. See, trying to fix it right there. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. That's the only way to learn. And see, I'm going back over and make it a little bit darker, going the opposite direction, making a cross hatch. If you don't like the crosshatch look, that's okay. You can also take a color pencil and add a little bit of a blue or purple there to create that shadow and then layer the brown on top. That's what I end up doing also on top of the hatching. Just don't be afraid to play around and have fun. Here, I get my kneaded eraser out and just getting it warmed up by stretching it out a little bit. Very lightly. Notice I'm not rubbing it really hard back and forth and going up. That way I don't cause the paper to buckle. Don't want any creases. If you rub back and forth too much in one spot, it can also pick up too much of the fibers of that paper and ruin it. Going back with the 0.1, the extra small, I'm going to be doing all that little detail through his fur. You could put as much little details as you want from it that you see in the reference photo, or you can copy what I have done and put lots of lines in there, or you can just leave it blank. I would love to see what you guys come up with. as I get closer to the bottom right corner of the rabbit had more of a shadow to it. So I did the lines a little bit closer together. You can do a little bit more cross hatching on its legs and a little bit of detailing on his tail. Get into the last little details here with the tail and the legs. Gonna just do a little bit more hatching, rounding out the tail there. Adding that fur to that back foot. Rabbits have a little bit longer fur on their back feet there. Do some hatching for that back leg. The back front leg, I should say. That one's behind the other leg, so it's going to be more in the shadow. Once again, don't be afraid to turn your page. So this video is just focusing on just the drawing and the inking part of the rabbit alone. I will post the second video for how I added the highlights, the white and the brown, and then added a little bit of shadow with a dark blue colored pencil. And I'll do that one shortly after this one. Tell me what you guys think of this video in the comments. I would love to hear how your project went and see how everybody did. All right, thanks everyone. Bye.